Now let's talk about Xi Jinping, the host of the SCO summit. This event was like a mission for him. It was about sending messages that China's influence remains intact, that US pressure has not broken his grip, and that Beijing can still gather leaders under one roof and join ranks against the US. For Tianjin, Xi Jinping found a common rallying point: Donald Trump and his tariffs. The US president has repeatedly threatened tariffs on China. He has vowed to weaken Beijing's economic clout. And look at the backdrop against which all of this is happening. One, China's economy is slowing down. Two, this is a post-pandemic world that has been talking about decoupling from China, reducing dependence from China. So for Xi Jinping, this summit was an opportunity to show that decoupling is a thing of the past, that today's China is attracting partners. And its leader, Xi Jinping, is a unifier, a leader who brought a diverse range of players under one roof, from Iran to Russia, from India to Myanmar. Xi Jinping had the same message for all SCO members, that they are not alone, that here is a platform outside Washington's orbit. In fact, Xi put his money where his mouth is. He committed $275 million in grants for SCO members this year and more than $1 billion in loans. He made a push for an SCO development bank. He offered 100, and I'm quoting, small and beautiful livelihood projects. That's what he called it, small and beautiful livelihood projects. Also scholarships for young people across the bloc. So this was financial diplomacy on full display, another reminder of how China uses money as a lever of influence. But it comes with its own set of risks. Like I said, China's economy is slowing, its property sector is under strain, and its exports face pressure. So throwing money abroad may not be a sustainable option. But that's the path that Xi Jinping has picked. Despite his country's obvious economic challenges, he is keen on projecting strength. And with the SCO wrapping up today here in Tianjin, the action will shift to Beijing. The Chinese capital will host a massive military parade to mark 80 years of the end of the Second World War. And in attendance will be a host of world leaders, from Russia's Vladimir Putin to North Korea's Kim Jong-un and Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir. Well, he too is in China, Asim Munir. He attended the SCO summit. He was spotted sitting alongside Pakistan's civilian representatives during bilateral talks with Iran. Asim Munir is expected to attend the military parade later this week in Beijing. Now remember, the SCO's core mandate is security. And on this front, China has not been consistent. Yes, the joint condemnation of Pahalgam attack is a step forward, but it's not enough to restore trust. With Pakistan's military leadership in attendance, the contradictions in China's position are exposed. Beijing may aspire to rival the United States as a dominant power, but SCO members are not looking for a China-led order. They're looking for options. They're looking for balance. And that is where Beijing's limits stand out. China is using American tariffs as an opportunity to win over more friends. But the fact is, China is also negotiating with the US. It still wants permanent tariff relief. And the US remains its largest trading partner, a partner that cannot be replaced overnight. So as of today, China cannot stand alone. Its biggest market is still America, and its partners at the SCO want choice, not dependence. For Xi Jinping, the SCO summit was a stage to project strength. But it was also a stage that betrayed his limits. As Trump's trade war rattles the world, all eyes turn to Tianjin, host of the SCO summit. Prime Minister Modi makes his first visit to China in 7 years. India's policy of multi-alignment faces its biggest test. Will the outreach to China open the door to a new partnership? And will talks with Russia add weight to India's stance against trade wars and tariffs? Catch Vantage live from Tianjin.